Hello, everyone. This is BLX Levinsky, aka Brianna. Um, all right, so I want to give an explanation to the difference between guitars. Okay, a lot of people be buying and purchasing a lot of guitars that are between $200 to $500 or $800 between those two. Now, if you buy a guitar that's $200, that is legit a low end guitar, and that's pretty much for like a beginner type and blah blah blah. Depending how it's set up in order for it to be horrible quality. But some low ends can have very good quality sounds, or the setup can be extremely like raw horrible. Now, in the other case, when it comes to a $500 guitar, and when it comes to an $800 guitar or $900 guitar, that's close to a high end. Now, you call that a mid-end. Mid-end guitars will be between $800 to $900. Now, if you're purchasing like a legit USA, any guitar that's based on USA models, like Fender Strat or a legit made in USA Gibson Les Paul, or anything that's literally above the high quality, they would go for like at least 7,000 to 8,000 to 9,000. We're speaking like high-end guitars. Now, some high-end guitars can have mechanical problems depending how the guitar is set up and depending on the quality of the guitar as well. And as far as, you know, people looking for their voice and sound and whatnot. So, first and foremost, when you get a high-end guitar, here's my best recommendation. Always give it a sound test. Obviously, everyone does that. Everyone always tests out a guitar for sound. It's not about how it looks. It's the sound is what you look for. Now, that's number one. Number two, not all high-end guitars will have such good sound quality on the pickups as well, depending how you guys want your taste to be like in your own signature sound and voice. Now, that's number two. Number three, now setup-wise, when it comes to setups, you guys have your own taste and you guys have your own sense on how you want to play in the style that you want to have your string action. Now, when it comes to setup on string action, be careful how you put your string action in order for the guitar to not buzz or anything, because some high-end guitars can take that big risk without even you knowing. You name it. Now, always check the neck profile as well, such as, you know, the neck adjustment and whatnot, so you see if it's straight, if it's back bow, front bow, or it's in between like fret leveling and whatnot. Always check that, guys, because for one, when I first purchase my guitars and I get them arriving over here where I'm living at, I always check the neck setup and I always check the fret leveling. I always check the quality of the pickups as well when it comes to a guitar. Now, for example, my number one guitar right here, my signature guitar that you see in my hands right now, they swapped out, of course, the original pickups on here, which I did as well. Now, when I swapped these out, I was checking on why it was giving me a lot of feedback. Now, it was something in there, I don't know how to describe it, but there was something in there that was causing the pickup to do a lot of feedback. So I did the screw adjustments and whatnot. That didn't work well. So I took out the whole entire pickup and I tore it apart, and I put them back together afterwards to make it a new beginning and a new chapter. Now in this incident, when you see and hear a pickup that has very horrible feedback, always check for the inside of the pickup itself, because you never know what's on the pickup. You never know how these people make their guitars based on how they want to make it in order for the person to be like, oh, this guitar is good, I love the feedback. No, dude, you're out of your mind. Because, one, if you want a good quality sound guitar, go for pickups that would not have feedback. If the first pickup that's on the guitar stockly doesn't go well for you and you try to fix it, don't stress about it. Just get a new set of pickups that is very affordable, that you can afford for yourself. and put it on the guitar however you want. It can be a Seymour Duncan, it can be a DiMarzio pickup, or it can be any type of pickup that you want. But for me, I prefer Seymour Duncan. What type of Seymour Duncans obviously is going to be Seymour Duncan Blackouts and Seymour Duncan Black Winters, is because, hey, I play black metal. But anyways, I digress. As of right now, these are my custom-made headless pickups. I designed them all myself, and I made it my signature sound for myself with this signature guitar. So in this case, all of you, as far as questioning what recommendations you would you would want for pickup wise, I would most prefer to suggest you guys to make your own custom-made pickups. Custom-made pickups are the best sounding pickups in my opinion, because not everyone is going to agree what I'm pointing out in my opinion as well. I digress. But in my recommendation, I would prefer you guys to have custom-made pickups to put on your guitar, or it can be a Seymour Duncan, or it can be a Seymour Duncan Invader, which I love those pickups, by the way. Shout outs to Seymour Duncan Factory, by the way. Shout outs to you guys. I love your guys' pickup designs. Anyways, I digress. Also, it can be a EMG pickups, which I love EMGs, by the way. The only EMGs I like are two types, actually. The EMG 707 pickups, obviously for 7-string, and EMG 81s and 85s that are Zakk Wylde models. Shout outs to you, Zakk Wylde. I love your pickups. Now, back to where I was stating about the differences. Now, let's go on the low-end models. Low-end models be having the most horrible neck profile. When you try to set it up, and you put, depending on the string gauge that you put on there, let's say that if you put 9s, it's going to cause a horrible fret buzz. But, here's the kicker. Always take the neck apart and put something under the neck, and you put it back on, and it's going to be a full straight-on guitar without even bluffing or anything else, without hesitation. Always put something under the neck joint. Like when you pull the neck out, put like a little tiny bit of carton in there, and like at least 1 or 2 millimeters of layers. Set the neck in there, screw it back on, 1, 2, 3, each one of them, and always check for the balance of the neck, how it's going to be on. So with me, I put one layer of carton what do you call that? The carton. I put one layer of carton. Neck is so balanced and whatnot. Great. But you always want to be careful how you put your neck set up based on how you want it in your taste. Because for one, always know what you know in your music theory and instrument theory as well. How you want to set up your guitar and your taste, how you want your sound to be like, vice versa, etc. Now, in other case scenarios, I only put one layer of carton in there. Boom. And my guitar necks are just straight on. It's a pretty cool trick. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is the part that I'm talking about. Now, in this case, you pull the neck out, and then you put one layer of something that let's see. You put one layer like this. Just cut it into a little piece like that, and then from there, put it on a rectangular style, so that way it can be enough space for the screws to go in. Put one layer on there, put the neck on, and it's gonna be just as straight as a stick. Because right now I only have one layer inside of the underneath of the neck joint, and it's so straight on. I can't believe it. That's why in my way I set up my guitar, in a certain way to where the guitar's not going to have any fret buzz or anything like that, because I know what I'm doing. In this other case as well, always check your fret leveling, as I said in the beginning of this video. And if the guitar doesn't work out and it's still doing its funny sound, you can always do a return, or you can trade it in, or you can sell it in Facebook Market or Instagram Market, all over the platforms and in other apps as well. You name it, however you want to. Now, as far as pickups adjustments, don't always put your pickups literally close to the string, because that will cause a major feedback that you don't want. Now, second of all, now we're going to go on tone. When it comes to tone, always be careful what guitar you set up, because not only will the pickups give you a feedback, also the tone knob. Because these, I have blackout preamps on here on my headless for my guitar to not, not have any horrible feedback or anything like that. You name it. I put blackout preamps on here, and it's just beautiful. This is a 3-way toggle switch, but I don't get why Stramberg do something like that. They can just put a regular 3-way toggle switch as they have in a Les Paul or SG or something. But anyways, I digress. Tone knob and pickup adjustment as well. And as far as the neck joint, only put 1 layer of cardboard in there. And then you'll be fine, just depending how you set up your little piece of carton right under the neck joint. Always measure the neck joint as well, along with the carton that you're going to put in there in between. So now that I said that, now let's go to mid-end guitars. Mid-end guitars can be great quality sound depending on how the tech sets it up. Now, when it comes to mid-end guitars, not all of them are going to be great. Some of them are great, some of them are not, just depending how you set it up, and depending how the tone knob is working out for you, and depending on the lead tone as well, and as far as the pickups as well. Same way as I said in the low end, it goes for same for the mid end. But now here's the difference between a high end. A high end guitar always have their necks very straight on. High end quality guitars always have their ways of setting up their guitars and how they can make it straight as a stick. Now, in this other case, now you see what's the major difference, because a high-end guitar always have their sound ready and their setup ready, because it can either be signaturized by an artist. It can be a signature model guitar, or it can be a non-signature model guitar as well. So in any other case, there's going to be major differences between a high-end guitar, mid-end, and a low-end guitar, and vice versa and all that. So I will make a second part of the video, and I will demonstrate to you what I mean by it, and I will see you guys in part 2.